The next few relations that we'll be discussing in this topic of coordinate geometry are a few formulae which are comparatively difficult to prove, no doubt not impossible, but a little bit difficult and lengthy to prove. Nonetheless, I will be proving them in the future videos, so keep an eye out for that. The first thing is the centroid of a triangle. So when we have a triangle which is composed of three sides and three vertices, we have something called a centroid of a triangle. So that centroid is essentially the point of intersection of the medians of the sides. So a median is a line segment which joins one vertex of a triangle with its midpoint of the opposite side. So if we consider a point Q, then we have to join this point Q with the midpoint of PR. So that is how a median works. Now, the three medians intersect at a point which is called the centroid, and the coordinate of the centroid, if the coordinates of P, Q, and R are x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 respectively, then the centroid for the coordinate for the centroid will be given as x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So that is the coordinate for the centroid of a triangle. That you can try to derive this using the concept that the centroid divides any median with the ratio 2:1. So you know the coordinates of these 2 points, and you know that this point is the midpoint of QR rather. So you can find out the relation, rather the coordinate of this point, and then since you have this point P, which the coordinate has been given, and you found out the coordinate for this point, and you know that this centroid point divides this line segment in the ratio 2:1, so you can find out the value of centroid. I will prove it in a later video, but that is essentially the approach of finding out the centroid, the coordinate of the centroid. The next rather relation is the incenter of a triangle. So incenter is the point of intersection of three angle bisector. So if we have a triangle ABC, which are given by the coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, then the incenter essentially is the intersection of the point of the angle bisector. So the line segment BAC is divided, the angle BAC, sorry, the angle BAC is divided by the line segment A, let's call it O, so AO. Similarly, the angle ABC is divided into two parts by the line segment BO, and similarly CO divides the angle ACB. So these three are essentially the angle bisectors of the three angles of a triangle, and they meet at a point O, which is called the incenter of the triangle. Why it's called an incenter is essentially if you take this radius, let's say CO, and you draw a circle, that circle would touch the three sides of a triangle. So that's why it's called the point O is called the incenter of the triangle. That is irrelevant to our purpose for the time being, but that is the concept of incenter. And the coordinates of incenter are given by A. So A is the length of the line segment which is opposite to the vertex A. Small a is the length of the length of the side which is opposite to angle A. Small b is the length of the line segment which is opposite to angle B. Small c is the length of the side which is opposite to angle C. So that is how I have named and marked the triangle. So the coordinate of the incenter, or the point of the intersection of the angle bisector given by point O, will be given as ax1 plus bx2 plus cx3 by a plus b plus c, comma ay1 plus by2 plus cy3 by a plus b plus c. So we take each side and we take the coordinate of its opposite point. So we take a into x1 plus b into x2 plus c into x3 by a plus b plus c. And for the y coordinate or the ordinate, we have a into y1 plus b into y2 plus c into y3 by a plus b plus c. So that is how the incenter of a triangle works. The next part is the area of triangle ABC is given by this. So I will be explaining this in a broader sense when I discuss about matrix. But if you know matrix, then it will be easier to understand. Area of triangle ABC is given by half of the matrix x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3, 1, 1, 1. where of course the coordinates of the 3 points of the triangle is given by x1 comma y1, x2 comma y2, x3 comma y3. Now let's say we have 3 points. These 3 points will be collinear if in no way you can draw a triangle out of these 3 points, because if there are any 3 points which are not collinear, you will always be able to draw a triangle through those 3 points. So when we say that 3 lines are collinear, it essentially means that if we essentially cannot draw a triangle through them. Even if we can, then the area of that triangle will be 0, because all 3 of them lie in the same straight line. So the line joining these 2 points, and these 2 lines they'll be the same line, so they'll be coinciding with each other. So ABC are collinear if the area of the triangle ABC is 0. So this matrix value, this is 0. That will only happen if this matrix itself, that is if I ignore this half part, this matrix itself is 0. And if you solve the matrix, or if you know how to find the area, then that would be y1 into x2 minus x3 plus y2 into x3 minus x1 plus y3 into x1 minus x2 equal to 0. Or of course you can write it in a opposite direction using x1. So sorry, that would be x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. The final relation that we'll be covering is sorry, let's say we have the axis. So this is the this is the y-axis, which is given by x equal to 0, and this is the x-axis, which is given by y equal to 0. And obviously, naturally, this is the origin, which is given by the coordinate 0, 0. Let's say for a particular sum, we have to shift this origin to another point A, which is given by the coordinate h, k. Now we knew the coordinate of another point P when O was the origin. So when O 0, 0 was the origin, we knew the coordinate of point P. So we knew this distance and we knew this distance. These are the values that we knew. So when origin was O, say P had the coordinate A1, A2. Now, let's say for a particular situation or for a particular sum to be done, we had to change the origin to A. So new origin is A, h, k. Now, if this distance was A1, we can't say that with respect to A being the origin, P is still A1, because this distance has been reduced. But then what will be the new coordinate of P? That will essentially be answered. Let me just remove these marks. So that will be answered when I say this distance, as I have marked, is A1, and I know that this distance is H, because A's coordinate is h, k. So this distance going by the original origin O, this distance is h. Similarly, this distance is k, pertaining to this point A, which is our new origin. So if this distance, horizontal distance between 0 and P, this distance is A and this distance is H, then automatically this distance become A1 minus H. Similarly, we get this distance as the total distance A2 minus the ordinate of point A, which is K. So we get A2 minus K as this distance. Then the distance between P and the new origin will be A1 minus H, comma A2 minus K. Then so that is what I've written here for origin A, h, k, A1 dash and A2 dash. That would be the new coordinate set for P. That would be represented by A1 minus H, comma A2 minus K. So that is what I've written in another form. P A1, comma A2 when the origin was O0, 0 is the same as P A1 dashed equal to A1 minus H, comma A2 dashed equal to A2 minus H when the origin has been shifted to a new origin point A, which is given by the coordinate h, k.